For 8 years, Lou Elizondo ran the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, or ATIP, a secret Pentagon unit that investigated UFOs. Now he's working with a team of former government insiders, assembled by Tom DeLong. Their mission? Reveal what they say is the truth about UFOs.
Echo 6-1 Tango, Roger, over.
Oh, got it! Woohoo!
Roger, there's troubleshooting as soon as I get
Are you box moving target?
02.
No, I took an auto track.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Wow, look at that, man. Look at it fly.
Oh, hey guys. Hey, Mike Turber here from 5x5 News. Over the last week, I had a little battle with a friend of mine that needs some help. He needs some help with math, but he says I need help with math. Basically, we're talking about Dr. Eric Davis. Dr. Eric Davis, if you don't know who he is, he's a ufologist slash scientist slash physicist slash theoretical astrophysicist slash all kinds of names and all kinds of letters and stuff behind his name. I don't have all those letters and stuff, and so he says that I can't do this. I can't possibly figure this out because I lack the skills necessary or the mathematics necessary to solve this. We're talking about this video right here in the middle. This is the video called Go Fast, out of the 3 videos that were released by To the Stars Academy and the Department of Defense. This video basically debunks itself, but Dr. Eric Davis disagrees. He says that their investigators were doing all kinds of forensics and math and all kinds of stuff, and that there's no way I could have figured this out. Well, several people have debunked this. If you get a chance, go check out Mick West. He's actually probably the leader of the bunch of all the debunkers and probably has done the best work. So me, not so much, but I'm going to show you just how you can do this one video, super simple, to figure out the altitude of Go Fast using this and this, a ruler and a protractor. That's all you need. You don't need a calculator, you don't need formulas, you don't need trigonometry, you don't need really anything, just these 2 objects. Here's how you do it. You ready, Eric? Here you go. All right, here we have a representation of an F-18. The F-18 is flying along at 25,000 feet. It says so right in the video. You can, Eric, it's right in there. You can see it. It says 25,000 feet right there above sea level. So we did a scale, which I took each centimeter and we made it 1/1000th scale. So basically each centimeter is 1,000 feet. Pretty simple. So I've got 25 centimeters up here to the F-18. So now we have established the altitude, 25,000 feet. Now we need to determine how far away the object is. Well, lucky for us, that information is also in the video. As soon as the target was boxed, the object, the Go Fast object was boxed, the ATFLIR system, or pod, showed that it's 4.4 nautical miles away. So 4.4 nautical miles, but we've got to somehow figure that out in feet. It's getting complicated. Not really. 4.4 nautical miles, you can just Google that and put feet. It's 26,735 feet. Thanks, Google. So here we have the 4.4 nautical miles converted to feet, which is 26,735 feet. And that's not enough information. We need one more piece of information. If we could only know the direction that the ATFLIR was looking at when it saw the object. Luckily for us again, it's in the video. The video actually has all the information necessary to debunk it. Amazing this slipped through the cracks. But here we go. The ATFLIR system says that the object is 26,735 feet away and 26 degrees down from the F-18. Real simple. If you drew a line through this F-18, get the cap off there, an imaginary line, that would be your horizontal line or your horizon from the F-18. So if you wanted to angle something down, if you were looking down then anything below this would be -1, -2, -3, X number of degrees down. So the app flare was looking down, -26 degrees, and the object was 26,735 feet away. So if we draw a line 26,735 feet long, and that line is -26 degrees, we should have a dot that's very close to the water, according to TTSA and their experts. Keep in mind the TTSA experts said that the object was hauling ass. Now, I guess there's a technical term I'm not familiar with, but hauling ass apparently directly equates to 2/3 the speed of sound. That's what they said in the unidentified special that they did that Lou Elizondo was in. So Lou agreed that the object was flying low and close to the surface and hauling ass. So I don't think so. Let's figure out how low the object actually was. Super simple. Take your protractor and put it right there on top of that app flare. So we have it right on top of the app flare. Now we're just going to go up here and we're going to zero this at 0 centimeters, and we're going to measure it down 26 degrees. 10, 20, 25, 26. 26 degrees. So now we're going to draw a line from there out to 26,735 feet. So 26.735 centimeters. So right about here. So that is where our UFO is. Now, here's your 26 degrees down angle. This line is 26.735 centimeters long, which is basically 26,735 feet long in scale. Does this look like it's close to here? I don't think so. If this is, then there's a problem. There's a problem here if people think that this altitude is close to the surface. This altitude, if you run the line back this way, is 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's at 13,000 feet. We didn't use a calculator. We didn't have to do hardly anything. Well, we did ask Google. We cheated. We asked Google about the nautical mile thing. Sorry about that. But this is super simple to figure out. With just those 3 pieces of information, we can determine that this object is flying at 13,000 feet. And if it's flying at 13,000 feet, that also means something else. It means it's moving a lot slower than what they say. And this is because of the parallax effect. But we'll get into that later. But to give you an idea, the object that we're talking about here at 13,000 feet, when you do the math, which we'll do in another video, it's just too long for this one, shows that this object's moving at about maybe 40 miles an hour. Maybe 40 miles an hour. So according to the Stars Academy, the object is down here, hauling ass, because to me, I think 50 to 500 feet might be low and close to the surface. But I think anyone watching this would agree, 13,000 feet, that's not very close to the surface. Would you agree with that, Eric? Or not? And the reason why I'm being sarcastic is because he's been really sarcastic with me. And yeah, we're having a little fight, so it's no big deal. But you guys get to benefit from it because you get to see how to do the math without needing anything really. It's really that simple. Just take the line, measure it out, negative 26 degrees, go out here 26,735, draw the line back to your scale, and boom, you're at 13,000 feet. It's that simple. The object is 11,720 feet below the F-18, which basically is about 13,000 feet. So that's where your go fast is. And here's the other thing. Lou said that it exhibited some of the 5 observables that they talk about. Some of those being, I don't know, no visible signs of propulsion, I don't have the list in front of me, but it has no wings, ailerons, no elevators. Yeah, just It has no heat signature, no heat plume, any of that stuff. So let's think for a minute. Let's figure this out. What object can you think of that can fly along at 13,000 feet, has no wings, no air, air control surfaces at all, no ailerons, no elevators, no flaps, no nothing, has no visible sign of propulsion, no visible sign of lift, and can stay up for days or for a very long period of time? Let's see. It could be a UFO, but UFO is unidentified flying object. Doesn't really define what it is. Can you, anyone out there, can you think of an object that can be at this altitude, move only at say 40 miles an hour or so, and which happens to be the exact same speed of the air on that date? If you go back to the off coast of Jacksonville, which is where Go Fast was, and you look at the airspeed at 13,000 feet, you're going to find that it was about 40 or so miles an hour. So the object was moving at about that speed, anywhere from 20 to 40 miles an hour, so even slower maybe. But what object can do that? What object can exhibit that slow of speed, have no visible sign of lift, no control surfaces, and stay up for a long time? Wait, a bird. No, I'm sorry, Mick. It could have been a bird, but we didn't measure how big the object was. But that's easy too, because if you take the screen and you know that that object is this far away, then you know the distance between here and here on the screen of where that object is. So if the object takes up that much space, then you can measure that. And it actually came out to be about a meter or so. So we got some really small aliens checking us out. But that's possible. I mean, it still could be some alien spacecraft. Or it could be, God, what object could do that? A balloon. Yeah, the UFO community is not going to like me right now. Because when you tell somebody something's a balloon, for some reason, that's a trigger. But in this case, all the evidence that I see and the evidence that I've been able to acquire since I started looking into this shows me that it's a balloon. Yeah. Just got a message. I think my Uber is here. Let's see. Let's go check out, see if my Uber has arrived. Oh, that's a pretty cool little spot here. Just go right out there. Huh. Well, that may be it right over there. What is that? Huh. Yep, there's my Uber. God, looks like a little NASA plane, doesn't it? All right, guys, try to figure that one out.
Carl Sagan once famously said about UFOs, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. He was absolutely right. But now we have the proof. The question now is, will people look at the evidence and are they able to process it?
Let's look at the evidence and process it. We will start our deep dive with the Go Fast video. To the Stars Academy claims that Go Fast is an authentic Department of Defense video that captures the high-speed flight of an unidentified aircraft at low altitude by an F-18 Super Hornets AFLIR forward-looking infrared system. Here is a question we have. How do they know the object is flying low? Where is the evidence that supports this claim? Lucky for us, there is enough information in the video itself to figure this out. The results may surprise you. In this video we will prove that the object shown in the Go Fast video is not low and near the surface of the ocean as TTSA, or their experts claim. And unlike TTSA, we will show you how to figure this out on your own.
This video has come to be known as Go Fast and shows an object speeding just above the water.
the ATFLIR box is the target, we see it is at an initial range of 4.4 nautical miles. We can also see in the video that the target is at a 26-degree down angle from the ATFLIR pod. The screen also shows the current altitude of the F-18 is 25,000 feet. We can use this data from the video itself to determine the altitude of the object being tracked. If we know the distance to the UAP is 4.4 nautical miles, or 26,735 feet, and is at a 26-degree negative, or downward angle from the ATFLIR pod, we can then calculate that it is roughly 12,000 feet below the F-18. If the F-18 is at 25,000 feet, we can determine the UAP is at roughly 13,000 feet by subtracting the 12,000 feet from the 25,000 feet altitude of the F-18.
For all I know, we may be visited by a different extraterrestrial civilization every second Tuesday. But there's no support for this appealing idea. The extraordinary claims are not supported by extraordinary evidence.
The issue with this video is we are told by the Stars Academy and their experts, the object is flying at a low altitude and very fast. In fact, the claim is the object is moving at 2/3 the speed of sound. Many have accepted these videos at face value. As Christopher Mellon stated, while quoting Carl Sagan, extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Recently, the claims made in the videos have been brought into question by several debunkers. These debunks are not calling into question the observations by Navy pilots directly. Those coming to the defense of Navy personnel claiming that these pilots know what they saw are not taking into account that the video does not support their testimony and therefore it calls the testimony into question automatically. This is no fault of the debunker. If an expert is called into court and asked to testify about the altitude of Go Fast, and the expert makes a claim that it is low and fast, he will have to prove this. In this case, that cannot be done based on the evidence shown in the actual video itself. As with any physical evidence, you analyze the evidence on its own, without influence of eyewitness testimony. Much like a lab will receive evidence without knowing anything about it. The results are not biased by anything. Then, using scientific method, you have the results verified by an independent party. If asked to determine the altitude and the speed of Go Fast, anyone should be able to calculate this using the information in the video. Don't take a debunker's word for it when anyone can do the math. What does this all mean? Well, at least when it comes to this video, it is clear that the object is not flying low and fast and is in fact, relatively high and slow. This information does not identify what the object is, it merely reduces the number of possible suspects. Debunkers are often ridiculed for being anti-this or that. If you feel that is the case, debunk the debunker. However, if you find that the debunker is correct, what will you do then? Your action at that point will define who you are.